And now it's time for another Board Game Brawl unboxing with Nick Minahan, sponsored by BoardGameBliss.com. Hey peeps, it's time for another unboxing video, and this one is for a game that a lot of people are looking forward to, and that is Scythe from Stonemaier Games. Now, I want to start this off by saying that the entire reason why I have an early production copy of this game for the purposes of playing and reviewing is because of you, the fans, or at least a very significant portion of you. Every year, Stonemaier Games, Jamie Stegmaier, the co-founder, publisher, and designer of Scythe, does a charity auction on Board Game Geek where he will have several copies of a collector's premium edition of one of Stonemaier's games, Viticulture was the one for this past auction. There's also Euphoria. And he will make different entries for it and assign each of those to a different podcaster, video reviewer, blogger, vlogger, whatever the case may be. And I was one of those for the last time around that they did the auction. And we each get to choose a charity of our choice that the proceeds from our entry, the people that bid on our entry, will go towards. And I picked the Beagle Freedom Project, which is very near and dear to my heart. The Beagle Freedom Project is a foundation that tries to rescue not just beagles, but a lot of other animals as well from laboratory testing, because these poor animals grow up in a cage and they get tested on. And find out more information about that by going to the Beagle Freedom Project's official page. But in any event, not only were people incredibly generous in bidding on our entry for this last charity auction. I'm not sure if the person who won the bid wants me to say his name, so I'm not going to do that out of respect and privacy, but he bid a lot, and I was incredibly touched and humbled by the generosity of everyone that bid for all of the entries on the entire list as well. But on top of that, because Jamie Stegmaier is an incredibly wise businessman, he does contest within a contest. So on Board Game Geek, you can thumb up individual entries, and the fans of my channel, in a big way, went to that entry and thumbed up my post hugely. And because of that, the winning entry on that Geek charity auction list, who got the most thumbs, got that video reviewer or podcast or whoever got an early production copy of Scythe for the purposes of review before almost anyone else. And we won. We won big time, and it's all thanks to you guys. So I want to thank you up front with that long story. So moving on, this is going to be just an unboxing for today, and there's not like a ton of stuff to unbox here because this isn't like Cool Mini or Not Kickstarter with like tons and tons of trays and different boxes and things, but still, a lot of people are curious about what's inside Scythe's box. This is the premium edition of the game. There's a lot of different stuff in there, and a lot of things that even I'm curious about as well. So we're going to dig into that, look through all the different components and pieces, and really get a feel for what's all in there. And then I'm going to play the hell out of this game tonight with my gaming group and into tomorrow as well. I'm even going to try the solo version of the game, and hopefully you'll see a review very, very soon. I'm just not going to commit to a time frame just quite yet. But all in all, thank you very much to all the fans who made this possible. Thank you very much to Jamie Stegmaier and Stonemaier Games, and for making this possible as well. And thank you for your generosity. I hope that I can do the game justice. But for right now, let's get to the unboxing. Alright guys and girls, we're going to take a quick look and a quick unboxing of the Scythe Special Edition from Stonemaier Games. This is the Special Edition version of the game, and you can of course see the beautiful artwork from Jacob Rosalski right then and there. You can see his name and his title down there. He's also sort of built the world of this. I think there's an art book that goes along with the game that you can get as well, which I don't have quite yet. It's kind of hard to tell on camera here, but the logo, I'm trying to move it so the light catches it in a different way, but the logo of the game is actually printed on the box in silver foil stamping, and I thought it was really cool. It's a nice little touch that the C is like an actual scythe, including down to the notches in it, which I thought was a very nice touch. But I think it's a really beautiful artwork on display here, which of course is one of the things people were not worried about with Scythe. While people may not know what the game plays like, I don't think anyone's concerned about the game looking good. So we can see that on every facet of the box. And of course it will be detailed on the cards as well. There's the requisite bear for the Russian faction. They're not Russian, they have a specific name for this world. I just can't think of what it is off the top of my head. But let's look at the back of the box as well. I'm flipping it over! It's probably a bad idea. So here's a preview of what you're about to see hopefully in a minute. The miniatures. which are a new thing for Stonemaier, right? I don't think they've done any games up to this point that have had miniatures at least like that. Maybe my memory is failing me, but I don't think so. Of course, I'm showing you the back of the box when you're about to see all this stuff anyways, but that's okay. Here's a list of everything that comes in the box, which is a lot of stuff. Colorblind friendly, 90% language independent, so on and so forth. Okay, but that's enough of that. I'm teasing you, of course. Let's get to what's inside this puppy. Oh, and just so you know, so this is not blatantly obvious, I really have not looked inside of here yet. This was a production copy. They had to make sure everything was there and accounted for, coming from the manufacturer. So there's no plastic wrap on the box. It's just the way it came to me. So let's see. Oh, solo mode by Automa Factory. Automa. All right, so this is another thing that was warned about in one of the updates, is that the miniatures were kind of loose. So that's why everything's kind of around. But actually, a recent blog post or Kickstarter update post mentioned that they're going to fix that in the rest of the production copies by putting a foam pad in there. So don't worry if you're worried about that. I wasn't, but you know, people might be. So let's go ahead and cover that first, the miniatures, since people are maybe most interested in that. I'm not sure. Well, people are most interested in the gameplay, but the miniatures would be the close second, of course. So let's take a look at that without the glare. Here are, notice the different colored bases for the different factions. Let's take a look at these first. Focus, 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 focus. As best I can. Very, very cool. And I'm sorry, I don't know the names of the factions off the top of my head, so otherwise I'd be giving a better detailed, look at it, it's a cool gun. I almost thought it was a sword at first, but I'd be giving a more detailed backstory on all these people as I pull them out, but you'll have to bear with me on that. Nice, cool wolf figure. Very well done. I mean, this is like one of those situations where these are quote-unquote board game miniatures. So people always sort of couch that in the terms of, well, you can't expect high quality like Games Workshop or anything like that. But I don't know. I don't have those kind of standards, and I think these look really, really great. A bear. Sweet. I don't know. I'm torn. Bears and wolves. I think I like wolves better. All right. Yeah, all the animal companions are really, really cool. Good ideas for modern day druids. If you're playing like a D20 modern setting. And one last one. Hold on. I'm trying to take it out without like damaging it at all. Should I just dump it out? This one's a little tough to get out. There we go. Hopefully I didn't do any damage to it. Is that like a bison? Really cool. Haha, mine's big enough to ride on, you suckers. Alright, so those are quite impressive. Now let's take a look at the mechs. And I like the classic mech look. I actually think they look like... there was a game for PlayStation 2, I think, called the Red Ring. Red Ring of Fire or something like that. An old JRPG, but it was done with like steampunk mech aesthetics. So I'm sorry, that's the same one. I showed you two yellows. You know, it's like they all have their... This one's kind of hard to see on camera because it's so black. I'm sure people who are much more talented than me will paint these very impressively to make them look even more distinct. But I think even as is, they're quite awesome. Certainly better than cubes and meeples, right? That's my opinion. I'm the anti-cube and meeple guy. Alright, very cool. And the white ones are the only ones we haven't seen yet. Wow, those look the most mechish. The most Battletech-ish, but still very, very cool. Very nice. I like it. Okay, let's sort of gently put this off to the side and look at the rest of the components and things that are in the box, if we can. Alright, so let's see what we got here. We got a lot of other stuff here. So let's do... Yeah, player pieces. We'll do blue since blue is the color I usually play with in the game. I'm pretty sure that all of these are the same for each of the factions. So I'll take a quick glance, though, just to make sure. I just don't necessarily want to dump every single one of these out right this second. So I think they're all the same, just in different colors. So different, like probably like strongholds, buildings, windmills that might represent like the grain you have to make. Stars. So again, I always prefer like miniatures and things like that, but Stonemaier Games is known for having excellent quality wooden miniatures. Euphoria was the first time I really noticed that. An excellent game, by the way. So there's an example of the player pieces that go together with your mechs. And let's see, what's next? Yeah, I think these are all pretty much the same. But you see, you have them for all of the different faction colors. That's a little bit different, so we'll open that up. There's more player pieces. I guess they come in little individual trays that got kind of shifted during shipment as well. Again, no big deal. That's just my copy. You guys, when you get your Kickstarter copy, will be packed better. So these are different resources, it looks like. So that would probably be gold. So I'm sure since it's steampunk, one of these is coal, either the gray or the dark gray. Let me take at least some of these out. I'm terrible at opening these kind of baggies. Okay. So that's one of them. Oh, that's probably oil, actually. If I took the moment to get the rulebook out and look, I'd tell you, but that might be silver. Yeah, sure. Just bust them all out. Wood and gold. Just guessing here. But probably so. But hey, look, more baggies. Always nice. Always appreciated. Most games do that nowadays, but I think that's actually becoming more common than not. Alright, push some of this stuff out of the way, and we'll go to player boards. Very nice player boards. As you can tell, they have, well, maybe you can't tell, but I'll zoom in a bit. There are indentations for the different, not for those, but for here and here. Indentations to place your trackers and things. And I don't know the rules in and out yet, so I'm not even going to hazard a guess at what some of these things represent, but just to give you an indication. And of course, this is a different player board. Then they all have different artwork, so we'll take a look at that now. You know what I'm going to do too? No, it's going to unprofessional do it right now. I'm going to turn off one of these lights so there's not as much glare. There you go, that's better. Should have done that before. So there you go. And there's another faction. These are different things. So these are also, so these will tell you the different empires. These go together with those. I guess those other ones are called production boards. These are actual the actual faction boards. So you have the Saxony Empire, the Nordic kingdoms. You see they have the different powers and abilities here. Actually, some of these are just reminders that are common to the two boards. Very, very cool. And let's keep going. Yeah, I should be matching these up, but I'm not. Sorry. So let's just do this then. Alright, we'll do the rest of these since I'm here like this. This is the Rosoviet Union. That's the Russians, essentially. Very, very cool. Olga. The Republic of Polania? Polania? Cool. And Poland, I take it. This is a wild guess. And then one more of the faction boards. The Crimean Khanate. Very, very nice. Again, I mean, I don't think anyone was doubting, based purely from the Kickstarter, that the game would look beautiful. That's really not in doubt. I'm just kind of proving it to you right now, lest you think anything changed between when the game was first shown off and now. It has not. It looks great. Component quality is good. These are nice sturdy boards. There's the logo on the back. Again, more baggies. Containers for the player pieces. which you probably use during the game. Here are also faction things. I don't know if these are to keep your resources, perhaps. They were punched out of this, apparently, again from production. There's like resource wheels. These will be constructed. And we're going to get to the cards last because I have to poke those out. I'm going to actually pause and go and do that. Okay, yes, I just paused for a moment. Well, you probably can't tell through the magic of cinema. So I can take these out of their plastic wrap. So the cards were in plastic wrap for me, but I am notoriously awful at taking them out of plastic wrap on camera. So I did it offside there. You can see some of these. Just sort of flying through these just to give you a taste of what you can expect. So very good. The text is easy to read. Very nice. I'm going to show you every single one. Let's try and see if we can get, there's different types of cards here. So I'll show you more of these in my full review as well. So just to give you some tastes, these are different, these are gold cards. These might even be for the solo game. I'm not entirely sure. There's a lot of different cards here. And I think at the bottom here, cheat sheet cards. Even the backs of the cards look really good. Yeah, okay. I think these are maybe for a solo game, most likely. Let's take a look at... Oh, I dropped a card. Don't want to accidentally step on that. Let's take a look at these small cards here. Nice. Now, again, I'm sorry, I'm not really sure what these are. I don't do a ton of pre-research for the games that I'm intending to play and review anyways, because it's kind of spoils the fun for me, but I knew that Scythe was a game that sounded interesting from what I did know about it and from what the artwork looked like, so that was enough for me, personally. And also, it's undoubtedly, Stonemaier Games has a great track record with me. I haven't disliked any of their games. Some games I like better than others, it's just the way it is, but always high quality and lots of effort put into it. So I was pretty confident I would like this game. All right, so these are another cheat sheet type card. Okay, a lot of these. Characters, reminders, things like that. Cool. Quick start suggestions. Different types of mech movement cards, things like that. Looks like gyro wheel thingy. That's cool. It's so cool. I love that kind of artwork. Like large hulking thing in the distance, shrouded in mist. Very cool. Okay, I'm fast running out of room to keep shoving things off to the side, but let's keep trying anyway. So just a few more things to look at. More cards. Again, I'm not going to show you every single card, but just to give you an idea. These are like, there's an interesting aspect to the game of like choice. I read a little bit about this during the Kickstarter. So you draw one of these cards and you choose how you want it to resolve. So this one you can humbly take orders from your superior officer, give the villager a ride home on your horse, threaten to create an avalanche with your bazooka. So based on what's happening in the artwork, essentially. So I really think that's a very interesting, maybe not the most thematic thing in the world, but an interesting bit of theme added into the mix to help things along with the theme. So, wow, this game is just beautiful. Can't reiterate that enough. Okay, and then moving along, we have different books here. Here's a little advertisement sheet, for the hell of it, I'll show you, from Stonemaier Games. They also do the treasure chests. The treasure chests are the one thing from Stonemaier I can't really comment on because I've never purchased them. I just don't pimp out my games a lot, but I've heard very, very good things. If I did want to do that, I'd probably go with all of his stuff. So here's quick reference guides, an achievement sheet, which I think is very cool. Here's a whole separate rulebook for the solo game, the Automa. And here's the full rulebook, which looks, in typical Stonemaier fashion, like it's very well done, not blocks and walls of text, which is what I hate. And everything else that's in this box is, you have token sheets. Yes, we haven't gone to the board yet, I know. I'm going to save the best for last. Perhaps the best. These two sheets look very similar. Same tokens. Great. And now this is the pain in the butt, because as you see, I have everything laid out everywhere, but now I need to put the board on top of it, which is fine. Let's try this. Perhaps I should have done this first. Alright, it doesn't matter. We'll do our best. It is in multiple pieces. It's huge. There, we'll do it like that. So it's like a ramp almost. I don't recommend doing this when you're actually playing the game, but this will give you a good indication of what it looks like, and it is notably awesome looking. It doesn't look too crowded. Everything looks distinct and easy to point out, the symbols, while at the same time it doesn't look boring and drab. Like there's actually life and vitality to the different villages and the countryside depicted here. Am I already giving the game a positive review? Well, I'm giving the components a positive review. I'll say that right now. Of course, how the game plays and how the game functions with regards to the components is still up in the air. That remains to be seen, and why I'm going to do a full review. Laptop not included with the game. But so, hopefully, this gives you an idea of what you can expect, at least from the physicality of the game. That is a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't know if this is this is like the special edition, but nevertheless, that's a lot of stuff. Actually, this isn't even the full premium edition. I think those editions have like metal coins and stuff like that as well. But that is almost everything that comes with Scythe. Can't wait to review it. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.
Thanks for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon. And make sure to check out our sponsor, Board Game Bliss, where you can find an amazing selection of games from around the world. BoardGameBliss.com. Thanks for your support.